Right.
What's going on, Chicago Tough sports fans? I am Anthony, and I'm here with one of my co-hosts, Paul Hitman Connor. What's going on, my brother?
What's up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. A very good Friday. I'm off work this weekend. I got my glass of wine, Moscato.
Water.
And we are doing the first of hopefully many Chicago Bulls shows that you and I are going to dive into.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this since you brought it up, like 2 months ago maybe?
Yeah.
You ran it past me. I was a little uncomfortable at first, but I think I have enough knowledge. Not as much as you probably have, but I think I have enough to do this. We did that little preview last night on our Bears breakdown show. I'll just go back and repeat what I said. I'm really excited about this team that the Bulls have assembled here. Someone at work watched our show from last night, the whole thing, and they didn't like what I said at the end about the championship Bulls, but I'm going to say it again because I honestly believe it and I feel it in my heart. I appreciate everything that Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Harper, all those guys, Phil Jackson, I really appreciate it. I loved it. It was exciting, but I'm taking it, I'm boxing it up, I'm putting it in the closet, and I'm locking it up because it is time to celebrate and time to pay attention and enjoy what the Bulls have done for the fans because it is really cool. In the offseason, they acquired DeMar DeRozan. They acquired, I don't know how to say his last name, Nikola Vucevic. I always say Vucevic. And they drafted Ayo Dosunmu, who's going to be really good. And they went out and got one of my personal favorites, Lonzo Ball. Yes. I told you last night, I actually bought a Bulls jersey, but I bought a Zach Levine jersey. You know why?
Well, last night you told me that
they don't make Lonzo Ball jerseys in fat guy size, so
right.
They need to get on that shit. Because I want a Chicago Bulls black and red Lonzo Ball jersey.
Right.
Because I would rock the hell out of that thing. I don't want to ramble. I don't want to take time away from you. So
no, go ahead.
Yeah, when Lonzo Ball first came into the world of the NBA, just his talk, not too many people were excited about this kid. I was excited about him. I always said Lonzo Ball. Now, I know this applies to every athlete that enters pro sports, but I'm talking on a more superior level. I said Lonzo Ball is either going to be a rock star in the NBA or he's going to be a total bust and be gone within 2 years. And so far, this kid's been a rock star, in my opinion. And the few preseason games that I've seen him play with the Bulls, I think this is going to carry into the regular season. And this team's going to be really good because of Lonzo Ball. He got drafted to the Lakers. I think they were kind of like in the middle or in the beginning of a little rebuild, I guess you can say. Not a full-blown rebuild, but it was somewhat of a rebuild. They didn't know where they were going or what they wanted to do. They brought him in as kind of like the guinea pig. And then they traded him off to New Orleans. The Lakers got Anthony Davis for Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, and Brandon Ingram, which in my opinion, I think the Pelicans won that trade. I know the Lakers have the championship, but as far as performance goes, Anthony Davis hasn't done anything over there except get a boatload of money that I feel he really doesn't deserve because he never plays. He's always injured. I know Stephen A. calls him Anthony Street Clothes Davis. Every time you see him, he's in street clothes. I feel the Pelicans won that trade because of Lonzo Ball. He did awesome things over there. The Pelicans are my second favorite team. I wanted to see him win a championship with Ingram and Zion over there, but they ended up trading him to the Bulls this offseason. I was really happy and really excited when that happened. I still am. I'm trying to hold back, like getting loud and going too nuts right now. I got home tonight. I turned on the DVR. I watched like the first, I think like 4 minutes of the game, and right off of the tip off, the Bulls' first defensive series, he's causing problems for John Morant. Like the first shot of the game for the Grizzlies, he's causing issues. Go on, because I have too much to say.
No,
I have a lot to say.
I'm looking forward to the season. Basketball is my sport. It's like kind of like baseball is yours, basketball is mine. I mean, it's my favorite sport. It's been a minute since I've really look forward to a bull season. I want to say probably maybe 10 years since that Derrick Rose MVP year.
I agree.
I really looked forward to an actual Chicago Bulls season. A lot of it was marred with some drama based off of how the end of that Derrick Rose era team kind of ended.
Yeah.
And then you go with, like, maybe I was a little bit excited during the Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade era, or 1 year, just because, I'm like, oh, Bulls got Dwayne Wade, yay.
Yeah. That was just pretty much like a coming home tour real quick before he retired, right? They didn't expect them to do anything just because they signed Dwayne Wade.
No, they were looking, as far as I know, they were looking to compete for a playoff spot, but also, from what I understood, use Dwayne Wade as a catalyst to attract, more free agents.
Yeah.
This was the big superstar that the Bulls landed. That they gave, almost $50 million to. So
For those who don't know, Dwayne Wade, he played high school where? Calumet?
Richards.
Okay. Why am I thinking? Maybe he grew up in Calumet City. For some reason, Calumet City comes into my head.
He grew up in a suburb, so he played at Richards.
Okay.
He went to Marquette. There was always talk of Dwayne Wade, even draft day in 2004. There was talk of even the Bulls might have traded up to draft him instead of getting Kirk Heinrich, but that never happened. But even in the summer of LeBron back in 2000, the free agency class of 2010 going into the 2011 season, there was that rumor that Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh was coming here. So Dwayne Wade at some point has always been linked to the Bulls.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those where I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to see where this team is. The Lonzo Ball. I do have to disagree with you on one thing. The Pelicans didn't win the trade just because they got Lonzo Ball. The Lakers won the trade because you said it, because they won the championship.
Yeah.
And that's in essence, what's going on.
Yeah. But can you say that they won because of Anthony Davis? I don't think it was because of Anthony Davis. When I say the Pelicans won the trade, I mean the guys they traded for actually played. They were actually on the court. Anthony Davis.
Well, you have to look at it this way. Brandon Ingram. You could say both teams won the trade then, because Brandon Ingram, he flourished. You're right. Once he got from the Lakers to the Pelicans, Lonzo Ball was able to grow a little bit more, and Josh Hart is a solid player. But
I guess I'm just being a fanboy.
But at the end of the day, the Lakers won a championship, and I don't think the Lakers win that championship without Anthony Davis, as good as LeBron James is.
Yeah.
But the Lonzo Ball to the Bulls thing has always been kind of the rumor. I mean, that dates back even to when he was first drafted by the Lakers. I mean, there's always been like this connection with the Bulls and Lonzo Ball, even going back to last year's trade deadline.
Yeah.
It seemed like the Bulls had a framework of a deal to go and try and get him for Laurie marketing, but they but I think the Pelicans was asking a little bit too much, and they kind of went with the whole thing of getting Vucevic, so which is fine. But the Lonzo Ball acquisition is what the Bulls needed. I mean, how many times last year did we have to sit through Kobe White as a starting point guard and Tomas Satoransky as a starting point guard, and as solid as those guys are, that they're not starting NBA caliber point guards. That's what Lonzo Ball is. Lonzo Ball brings a level of physicality in terms of him being 6'5", 6'6", with long arms, being able to defend multiple positions as well as rebound. Yep. So that's something that the Bulls needed. And another thing that he does really well is the fact that he gets the ball out on the break. He starts what, and I know this isn't a hockey show, but he starts what's called a hockey assist, where he'll advance the ball up the court after a miss or a missed shot or a steal, so that other person could get an assist or a bucket. So he's
definitely not selfish.
No, and another thing too is he's improved his shooting.
I was waiting. I wanted to say it. And the most dangerous thing about him, he's developed a 3-point shot. I think his career 3-point average was 32 or 35%, or maybe 39. I know it's only preseason, and I haven't watched all of tonight's game, but in 3 preseason games, he's shooting 52% from the 3-point.
Yeah, he's not going to shoot 50% from 3 throughout the regular season, but if he's 37, 38% or close to 40, that's really good. Yeah. That's really good, and that gives the Bulls another dynamic. The acquisition that really surprised me was the DeMar DeRozan deal. I didn't expect that. No. I mean, I figured the Bulls would try to go after and get a small forward or another combo 2-3, but I didn't think it would be him. Then when the news came down that they signed and traded for him, I was like, okay. Yeah. You get a guy in DeMar DeRozan who's a veteran, who's still in the prime of his career, a scorer, a halfway decent defender, but a guy that can get his own, another guy that can get his own shot. And that's the thing that I like about what Arturis and Mark Eversley did, is the fact that they get guys that can create their own shot. Because last year, outside of Zach Levine and maybe some stretches with Kobe White, you didn't have anybody that can constantly get their own shot.
Nope.
So when Zach went out of the game, or a defense has decided they wanted to key on you or key on Zach, you had nothing. So now you have DeMar DeRozan who can get his own shot, and plus you can play Zach Levine off the ball.
Yep.
And another thing that I like about DeRozan's game is the fact that he gets to the free throw line.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that he's a good shooter. He's not the best shooter, but like you said, he will get to the free throw line and he will sink free throws.
Yeah.
He hardly ever misses free throw.
No, he'll get to the free throw line. I think he averages close to about 7 free throws a game, which is pretty good. And, he has a very good mid-range game. And that's kind of the lost art in basketball these days. It's the art of the mid-range game. And that's one of the things that, that all these guys, Zach, even Lonzo Ball, and even DeMar DeRozan.
You know who I blame for the mid-range game going away?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Steph Curry. He's a great player. I will never say anything bad. He kind of ruined basketball for me, anyways. Because now, because of him, everyone wants to take the three. Not even a three. Everyone wants to take the half court shot.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, it's that's one of the things. Like I tell my kids when I coach basketball. That's one of the things I tell my kids. I'm like, you all are not Steph Curry.
No.
I don't want to see you guys pulling up from half court.
No.
If it's a good three on a fast break, if it's a good three within the office, take it. But if you come down and shoot a half court three, you might as well just come sit next to me.
You're done.
Yeah, you might as well just come sit next to me because I'm going to pull you.
Again, great player, and he's only getting better.
Yeah,
but he kind of ruined basketball.
But that's but the thing that some of these kids don't realize, like he practices those shots.
He gets paid to do that. That's what he gets paid for.
He practices those shots, so he that's why he's good at them. But like I said, I mean it's you have this group and that can do some stuff, and Vucevic he's 6'11", he can bang in the post, but he can also step out and drain a mid-range or a three-point shot. So this team has options.
They're very versatile, very versatile, even off the bench. And
then if you look at some of the other moves, the one signing that I'm truly excited about is Alex Caruso.
Yes.
That's the one.
I forgot to say his name in the beginning of the video. The Bulls also signed Alex Caruso.
Yeah, that's a guy who can guard, who can shoot a little bit, and he's very athletic.
He's a dog.
And he's got, dude, you took the words out of my mouth. And that's one of the things. That's one of the things that this Bulls team has missed. Is that dog mentality, that dive on the floor stuff, and and now they have that. And the thing about having Caruso, especially with that second unit, is that he can play the point, guard the point, or guard that unit's best player, and Kobe can just worry about getting buckets.
Yep. I like that bench. That bench is Alex Caruso, Kobe White. It's going to be with Javonte Green. Yeah, Javonte Green. Ayo Dosunmu. And who's the other big man?
Tony Bradley.
There you go.
They got Tony Bradley. They got Alexei Johnson.
Alexei Johnson.
I don't know.
Who's the Thomas guy? Patrick Thomas? Is that his name?
I think it's Matt Thomas. It's Matt Thomas.
Okay.
The shooter. I don't know if he's made the team yet. I mean, they haven't gone through final cuts yet.
I hope he makes it. It.
As far as Ayo's concerned, I like the draft pick of Ayo.
Yeah.
But if the Bulls are playing Ayo in tough situations, that means that something went wrong. And that means you got some injuries.
Yeah.
If he breaks the rotation because of his hard work, cool. But I don't want to see Ayo, playing. And I love the kid. He went to my high school. I had nothing but love for Morgan Park people. But I don't want to see Ayo playing meaningful minutes right now. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Another thing I was going to say, for a long time now, I've been saying, man, I wish they would trade Zach Levine. This isn't working. Why do they keep holding on to Zach Levine? I'm happy they held on to Zach Levine. I think just the simple fact that, again, being a fanboy, Lonzo Ball is going to single-handedly make Zach Levine a better player. Zach Levine has that number 2 shooter out there with him. Or not number 2 shooter. He has that that help the sidekick out there.
It's
the assist machine. That's what Lonzo's going to end up being.
Well, I mean,
Levine.
Well, it allows Zach to play off the ball. Like,
Yeah.
You can't key on Zach, when you have multiple ball handlers and multiple guys that can get their own shot.
Lonzo is a big distraction out there for the opposition.
I
I
mean,
think that's why they brought him in.
I mean, that's another reason why, DeMar DeRozan's here. I mean, DeMar DeRozan's here, one, because of his being able to do a lot of the stuff that this team needs, score, facilitate, things like that. But, a lot of these players came to the Bulls because they want to play with Zach Levine.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bulls are finally getting that budding star. I'm not going to call Zach Levine a superstar yet because
he's going to become one. He's going to become one because of DeRozan and Ball.
Because for me personally, there's a handful of superstars. There's a handful of them.
Yeah.
In this league, but he can become a star in this league. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this team is versatile. And there's another guy I'm looking forward to. He hasn't played much this preseason because of injury. I'm looking forward to see what Patrick Williams does.
Yep.
Patrick Williams is a guy who the Bulls drafted 4th last year. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't like the pick because that's not who I wanted. I wanted the Bulls to draft Tyrese Halliburton. I was a big fan of his. I wanted the Bulls to trade down to get him. But, hey, the Bulls drafted Patrick Williams. I enjoyed what I saw from him. I want him to continue to get better. But if Patrick Williams can take that next step and not be so passive and just be, aggressive and look for his own shot, rebound, defend like we know he can, this team is going to be so much better forward.
Yeah. The couple minutes that I did see of the preseason game before we came on tonight, he looked a little nervous. He looked a little like he was second guessing himself a little bit. But I'm guessing that's because that's his first game back.
Yeah, his first game back. He's trying to test the ankle. I mean, he hasn't really practiced much with these guys, because of the injury. I mean, he hurt his ankle August 15th. Yeah. So I mean, he hasn't had much practice time. So I mean, I think, yeah. So like I said, that's a guy who I'm really looking forward to and seeing and growing.
It's going to be a fun season, man. It really is.
Yeah,
there is no reason. There is no reason unless, knock on wood, unless the injury bug just comes and wipes through the Bulls. There's no reason this team shouldn't have a winning record.
Yeah, it's funny. One of my high school basketball teammates reached out to me today. He's also a big fan of the show, by the way.
Awesome.
So shout out to Thomas Thorpes.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas.
Class of '98 at Morgan Park High School.
Cheers, mate.
Reached out. He said, what do you think the ceiling is, for this team? And mainly, I said the Bulls could be. I said 4th, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I think the Bulls could be anywhere between 4 and 6, and the reason why I have them that low is because they're not better than Brooklyn. They're not better than Milwaukee, and they're definitely not better than the Heat.
Not better than
where the Heat.
Oh, the Heat.
Miami. Yeah, they're not better.
I'm not ever worried about the Heat because they always choke. They always put on a big spectacle, and then they're the Clayton Kershaw of basketball. They get to the postseason, it's like, what do we do with this?
Yeah, but they'll get to the playoffs being a 3 seed, which is what I'm expecting from them. Because Eric Spoelstra was a hell of a coach, and and they brought in Kyle Lowry, and they also they just have talent. They have more talent right now than the Bulls, and I'm always a fan of Jimmy Butler. He brings that dog, as we talked about earlier, to this team. Bam is on that team. That's another guy that I like.
I will say Miami Heat has the most overrated player on their team. Tyler Hero.
I'll take Tyler Hero. That dude can shoot.
That's another video.
I'll take him. That dude can shoot. Is a little bit athletic. You know, I guess what makes him overrated is the fact that of the contract he got, but that's not his fault.
Oh, you don't expect him. Oh no, I'm not ready for that much money yet.
Yeah, but you know, I'm
since you. I don't mean to cut you off again. Since you pretty much said your prediction, which we should have left for the end of the show. Should I just tell you what I think?
Yeah,
I agree. Brooklyn won. I'm not sure who's number 2, but I think the Bulls finished number 3, and I think they win the East Central. I think they're going to outdo Milwaukee.
Over Milwaukee?
Yes. They have too much talent, too much good shooting, too much speed, too much distraction on that team. Again, Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso.
No, I mean, I'm going to disagree with you because I think Milwaukee's better.
That was the thing I told you last night, that you're going to want to punch me through the screen.
No, I'm not going to punch you through the screen. I'm just saying.
I'm going to punch you in real life.
Right. No, but no, I just think that you know, I think Milwaukee's a better team. You know, I think the Heat right now are a better team, and where it gets interesting for me is 4, 5, and 6. You know, because for me personally, it all comes down to one team. If the Bulls are going to be a 4 seed, if the Sixers trade Ben Simmons and they're not going to get maximum value for him back, that drops the Sixers down.
I read yesterday that he's expected to report to training camp and practice.
Yeah, I mean, he can expect a report, but I mean, how many of those bridges have been burned?
Another team of choke artists, the Sixers.
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you know, they were the number 1 team in the East last year and couldn't get out of the I think it was the second round. Couldn't get out of the second round.
Yeah, it was second round.
Lost to the Hawks. And that's another team that I think that
There you go. That's my number 2 team right there.
The Hawks?
Yes.
Okay. And I like them. You know, they have a few pieces that I enjoy watching. John Collins is one. Obviously Trae Young is another. You know, that team is just so young and could rival to where maybe the Hawks are 4, Bulls 5, and Sixers 6. I mean, I think 4, 5, and 6 person could be interchangeable, but if you had to, you know, put a gun to my head or have me to put some money, I'll take the Bulls at 4.
Yeah, there's no reason, and this is like worst case scenario. There's no reason the Bulls should finish anything less than 5. Right.
Well, here's the thing that I think that some people, particularly in the national media, fail to realize, because I listen to NBA radio all day, and you know, they talk about, you know, the Bulls not making the playoffs, and what they fail to realize is that this team was basically in the play-in game, you know, between that 7th and 10th seed. Actually, at one point they were the 7th seed, but they were, you know, in that 8-9 range up until, you know, Zach Levine was in COVID, you know, protocols, and then also Vucevic, you know, was out for a few weeks with his injury.
Yeah.
So I mean, you lose those two, what do you expect the Bulls to do? So about the time they got back, you know, it was too late.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this team, another thing that kind of irks me is the fact that, you know, they were asking about, well, is this team going to play defense?
Yes.
This team will play defense. And
yep.
people forget that this team, without the athletes that they have right now, were 12th in the league in defense. 12th in the league.
Yep.
And all they did was upgraded guards. They upgraded, you know, you get a full season of Patrick Williams. So and what Billy Donovan has done with this teams in terms of defensive rating has, they've only been better. And I actually wrote down some stats.
Okay.
So when he was the head coach of OKC from 2015 to 2020, they were 11th, 10th, 9th, 4th, and 7th. And then last year he was 12th with
nobody.
Nobody. I mean, because Wendell Carter Jr. missed half the time. Otto Porter Jr. Was out, then got traded. Wendell Carter Jr. got traded as well. Yep. Denzel Valentine was playing. Thomas Satoransky and Kobe White were your point guards at times. Yep. So, and pretty much your best defender last year was probably Thaddeus Young, and they were able to finish, 12th in the league in defensive efficiency. So you mean to tell me this team is not going to get better with the
who said that?
No, this is the national narrative. That's the narrative.
I thought someone said that to you. That
No. This is the national narrative that the Bulls won't be able to play defense. So yeah, but with all the excitement, there is one thing that I am concerned about, and that's the fact, and that's rebounding, and that's just because I'm old school. I want to have a guy. I want to have multiple 6'10" people in my starting lineup or in multiple lineups, to rebound.
They're a small team.
But that's just my personal preference, But as I stated earlier, one of the things that will help this team is the fact that you have guards that are willing to rebound. Lonzo Ball is a willing rebounder.
Yes, he is. That's all I see him do. Rebound on the offense and defensive board. He's so good, man. He's going to make everyone on this team better.
Yeah. And what's funny? It's been a long time since, I said about being excited, but just look up and down this roster. This roster is very athletic.
It is. That's why I feel they're going to finish where I feel they're going to finish. There's no reason for them not to win this division.
Yeah. I mean, another guy that we're not even talking about, but is athletic as hell, is Derrick Jones Jr.
Yep.
That's another guy that can play multiple positions. He's 6'7" and has 6'5" and has like a 7-foot wingspan.
You know what their roster reminds me of? This year's White Sox. All this talent, how we have all this talent, great. Now, how are we going to use all of this talent?
Oh, and that's
how are we going to use all this shooting and this defense and all this rebounding?
And what's funny? You brought up the shooting aspect of it. I had a buddy. I was texting with a buddy, and we were talking, and he asked me about what I think about who's going to make the team, and I said, he put out a poll, Stanley Johnson or Matt Thomas. And I said, as much as I like Stanley Johnson, I still think this team needs shooting. I mean, you could never have enough shooting.
No, not in today's league.
So as much as I like Stanley Johnson, I would prefer Matt Thomas. Yep. But that, once again, that's a personal preference of mine.
No, I agree with you 100%. In today's NBA, they have someone who could be a consistent rebounder. It's like, oh my God, look what this guy's doing. He's doing something so amazing. You and I grew up with the best rebounder to ever play the game, Dennis Rodman. That is all that dude did. Growing up, I think I saw Dennis Rodman take 3 shots.
Yeah. And speaking of him, you have Alexei Johnson, who you actually should have just had some Alexei for Alexei Johnson.
There you go.
But he said he's studying Dennis Rodman. I mean, he's another 6'7", power forward that that's all heart, all muscle. I mean, his offensive game is a little limited.
Yeah.
I mean, he can do some stuff inside, but he's a guy that would just go get it as well.
I hope he doesn't study Dennis Rodman too closely because he can't do half the stuff Rodman did in today's league.
Well, if you look, rebounding is all about positioning and.
I mean, playing the bully ball. Because Rodman played bully ball. I'm trying to be funny, Hitman.
Oh, I know. But I think this roster is just so versatile and so deep. I was telling the same buddy that if Jim Boylan was still coaching this basketball team, I would be a little bit more concerned about the Bulls. But Billy Donovan has a track record.
Yeah, he does.
And this team should be fine. This team should be fine. This team should make the playoffs. This team should get out the first round. I know there's a lot of pundits and national talking heads that are kind of
haters.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they're a little concerned about the fact that the Bulls gave away some first round picks to get some of these guys, but my theory is that they're first round picks, and if the Bulls are good, those picks will be anywhere, they'll probably be 18 to 20, or 18 to 23, somewhere around there. If they were giving up lottery protected or lottery picks, unfortunately, like they did last year with Vucevic, but that's just because they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then I would be a little bit more inclined to agree. But this team is in win mode now, and plus there are multiple ways to build a team, and what I've learned in studying how Arturis has built teams over in Denver. Yes, he has the draft picks. Yes, he do free agents. But dude, he's all about player development. So he'll take somebody from the Windy City Bulls and put them in the gym and build them up. That's what he did in Denver. Their player development staff was top notch. So how come he can't do that here?
Well, things are changing. This is a new team. This isn't the same Bulls, like you said, from what you can remember from 10 years ago was the last time we had a good solid shooter.
This is not the same Bulls under Fred Hoiberg and Jim Boylan. If you want to go more recent, hell, this is not even the same team from last year.
Nope.
This is
a new team.
This is a new era.
Yep.
It's a new era, and that's good. That's really good, and you want that. Yep. And the excitement that you see on Bulls Twitter, it's something that's awesome. You want to see that. You want to feel that. And that's what's going on right now.
And like I said in the beginning, I appreciate and I love the memories of the three-peat team, but you know what? It's over with. It's been over. Let's move on to this new improved and exciting team that we're about to see start the regular season.
Look, I will always be appreciative of the Bulls 6 championships.
How could you not?
I will always be appreciative of that because it brought me tons of joy. And even watching The Last Dance last year, that was awesome to relive that. But it's kind of like when the Bears fans lived with 85, those teams. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, up until the Bulls' last hope of winning a championship rested on the shoulders of Derrick Rose.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Or rest on his knees.
With this team, are they going to make the finals this year or next season? Probably not.
No. This is not an NBA Finals team, but I think this team can get to to the conference semifinals and push, and
Within
push,
5.
Push Milwaukee or push Brooklyn. They can do that.
Yeah,
they can do that. I mean,
I think Lonzo's contract is 4 years. They gave him.
Yeah, I mean,
DeRozan was 3 or 4.
DeRozan's 3, Caruso's 4, Lonzo's 4. I mean, the only big, and Vucevic I think has 1 year left after this year. But the main thing is signing Zach Levine to a max contract.
Yep.
And there's still people that think that he's not worth that. My issue when it comes to talking about Zach Levine is you got to pay somebody.
You're absolutely right.
You got to pay somebody, and
you have to motivate somebody.
Yeah, and number 2, Zach is loyal. Zach's been, through everything with his ACL tear and going through all the stuff he went through, since being here. He just wants what he wants. The guy he's an all-star. He's an Olympic gold medalist. So I mean, he's one of the top shooting guards in the league, and how come he shouldn't be paid like one?
Yep. I've never heard him say trade me. I want to be traded. He is Zach Levine is the equivalent of Anthony Rizzo for the Cubs. All the shitty seasons he went through, never said trade me. He always showed up and played his heart out for that team.
Yeah. Just
like Levine's doing.
Yeah, and I understand that there was some trepidation not trepidation, that's the wrong word, but some, kind of him and the hawing about.
I don't even know what that word means, man. I will be honest with you.
There were some issues, this offseason where, Zach might have wanted an extension now, and some Bulls fans wanted him to get it done now. But let's be honest, 2 things happened. The Bulls played a wait-and-see game. They got some people. I mean, they basically told Zach Levine, "You're our guy." Like, they build this team around him, number 1. Number 2, I think it's on Zach Levine to not take an extension now, because you can get paid more money in the offseason. You can get an extra $30 million in the offseason.
Yeah. With this
why would you take an extension now?
Yep.
You said you want what's coming to you. Hell, max me out.
Let this season play out. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you want to stay here, and if you lead this team to the playoffs, yeah, you'll get your money.
Yep.
It'll be from the Bulls, because no one else can pay Zach as much as the Bulls can. Just a matter of agreeing terms.
Yep. Well, it's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited. I'm so happy that I can say I'm a Bulls fan again. I've kept that locked inside of me for so damn long, because I didn't feel the need. I didn't feel I could honestly say, yeah, I'm a Bulls fan. I enjoy watching the Bulls. But now I can say it. I'm going to enjoy watching the Chicago Bulls play basketball this year.
Yeah, it's funny because, when the signing trade happened for DeMar DeRozan, I immediately told my wife, yeah, we're going to get tickets for multiple games this season, because I want to go. I want to go and see this team, and I want to go and see this team grow.
Yep.
But for this team to make the playoffs, they gotta get off to a good start.
Yep.
That schedule.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy is the key. But also they gotta get off to a good start. Yep. I was looking at their schedule. The first 2 weeks of the regular season, it's pretty simple, but then you start getting into some stuff, some tough games. But I think they'll be okay.
Oh yeah. Damn it! I was going to say something. Yeah. Oh well, I forgot what I was going to say. Must not have been that important.
No worries. But yeah, it's going to be a fun year, and if they don't make the playoffs,
I'm going to be pissed.
Well, a lot of fans are going to be pissed. A lot of people in the management are going to be pissed, and
I will even be pissed if they make the playoffs by the play-in tournament. They are so much better than that. Like I said, if they finish anything 5 or below, right? Am I saying that right? They finish 5 or below. That's not acceptable. They're too good to finish. They need to finish 5 and above. But I'm staying with my pick. I think they're going to finish 3rd and win the Central.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with mine. I say anywhere between 4 and 6, and that's just because with everything with Ben Simmons, and I still like the Atlanta Hawks. So
the Hawks are that's who. Like I said, that's who I couldn't remember who my number 2 seed was, but it was the Hawks.
Yeah, so for me, it comes down to those 3 teams fighting it out for 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
And I would prefer the Bulls to get the 4th seed, just because of home court advantage.
Okay.
But this team is better than the Knicks. This team is better than the Pacers. I think this team is better than the Celtics. They're better than Orlando. They're better than the Wizards. That there's. This team is motivated. You got some motivated people.
Yes.
You got some motivated people on this squad that wants to prove some people wrong.
And it seems like they're clicking. It seems like they're getting along. It seems like the locker room is happy.
Yeah. The only thing about the DeMar DeRozan trade I did not like is the fact that Thaddeus Young had to be included in that trade.
Oh, take him. For DeRozan, take him.
Well, and that's only because marketing was supposed to be included in that trade. It was originally marketing and some picks for DeRozan.
Yeah.
But I guess between I think the Spurs.
I remember you texted that to me. I think I said they will never do that. They're not going to.
No, they were on the verge of doing it, but I think marketing wanted more money. Then the Spurs were willing to give up, and that kind of fell through, and they had to match salaries, and the only other person on that roster at the time that you could match salaries with was Thaddeus Young.
Yep.
For me personally, if you have Thaddeus Young on this roster, not saying that Thaddeus Young is the end-all be-all, but had to have another vet within that second unit, yeah.
I think they're going to be okay without Young.
Oh, I know, but just that is Young. I was been always a big fan of his.
Yeah.
And when he came to the Bulls 3 years ago, I was excited. It's one of the few Gar Forman, John Paxson free agent signings that I've been excited for. But they're no longer here.
No. Now we have Lonzo Ball.
We do.
I love it. I can't.
And that's I want to start a poll that I want to ask, like, how many dunks or alley-oops are you expecting from this Bulls team? Because there's going to be tons.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Between him and Levine, I'm telling you, he was brought in to feed Levine. That's what someone is there to feed Zach Levine now.
So, should be a fun season.
Yes.
Should be a fun season.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Hitman. I had a lot of fun doing this.
This is good.
I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, as the season progresses, we'll get into more of the games and kind of break those down. I mean, I don't think we'll come on every night.
No.
After every game, but we'll do once a week to kind of do a weekly recap of the games that were.
Maybe do a bi-weekly. So, because we have Hawks coming up, and I don't know if Scott and Jimmy are going to do their thing, and if we do anything with wrestling, and then we have football, and maybe we'll work out the details. So
yeah, it should be good.
Yes, but anyways, thank you, and for those watching, don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Go Bulls!
Subscribe to our channel. Yep, go Bulls!
Go Bulls! Go Bulls!
Yep, and check out our Twitter page, Chicago Sports Pod, and. Again, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, before we go, give a shout out to C-Red Fred, the leader of C-Red Nation. He always has me on his show. I told him I was going to give him a shout out.
Awesome.
And then, go Bulls. C-Red.
All right.